Ready to cook.
Ready to cook, yes, more like it. So we're gonna do a very simple, this is a very quick salad. We're focusing on the soy. We're using the soybean here. This you can find in a few different forms. Lower it down, again, my hands go up. Sorry if it's distracting, but the soy, you can find them frozen, which is a great product to use. You boil it for like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and then throw them into some ice water just to shock it. So very, very simple to prepare ahead of time. They have the ones as well in the pods, which you can peel. Those are great to use, but I find the frozen product, it's, you know, for a whole bag, it's pretty cheap. It's very economical, and it's very simple to prepare ahead of time. So we have our soybeans here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna make, we call it a crushed edamame. This is kind of almost like a pesto. So we're using it for a salad, but you can use this even like in a nice fresh spring pasta or any sort of, you know, grain dish, maybe to top on some chicken. It's really, really nice, refreshing sort of topping. So we're gonna prepare the pesto, and it's easiest if you have a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can use a mortar and pesto, or I'm gonna try doing it in this cup. I never did it before, and I decided, okay, no, we'll try it in front of you.
It's always good to try things in front of people.
But in case
for the first time,
in case it doesn't work, Christy is going to also do it in the food processor.
Man versus machine.
Man versus machine.
Who
here.
will prosper?
So you can take the lid off, and we'll add it at the same time. So what you want is,
this part or the whole thing?
yeah, there you go. About a cup of the edamame in there. We'll add a cup for you. And I'll do a little less. And you can add, you know, avocado to this if you want, some nice spring peas when it is spring. You can add those.
With a lot of soy products, you're going to be missing out on the fiber, but with edamame or the whole soybeans, it's an excellent source of fiber. So we know that fiber, including lots of that in your diet, is associated with lower cancer risk and healthier body weight. So good reasons to go for the whole food.
So we added a clove of garlic. You can add more if you really like garlic, but I think a clove is nice. A few walnuts in there. That's just going to give it a really nice kind of richness. You can get some nice fat out of the walnuts, and you can use, you know, pine nuts. Any sort of nuts will work in this. I like sun-dried tomatoes. Again, this is optional. It gives it a nice flavor, nice little color as well. You can add all that.
Thank you.
In there. And just a squeeze of lemon juice. Try not to get the seeds in. The seeds won't hurt you.
You left all the seeds for me.
Yes. There you go. And some fresh herbs really help to just pick everything up. But what I tend to do, you gotta see. What I tend to do is add them at the end. If you add like something like fresh basil or even fresh parsley or mint too early in the food processing process, I was gonna say, it'll bruise the leaves, and you'll kind of get this kind of really dark green, mushy looking. So it's nice, process it first and then add it right at the end and have the last few pulses just with the fresh herbs. So Christy's gonna put the lid on, and we'll do it this way. I might win if I wasn't helping. And she's gonna turn it on and slowly drizzle in the olive oil. Before you drizzle in the olive oil, I'm gonna put it in here and try to crush it with a spoon. Now, what's fun about this is you don't need it. You don't need it to be super smooth or creamy. What's nice about the edamame, it has a really nice crunch to it. It's got a beautiful freshness, but it's got a really nice texture, a nice crunch to it. So you don't want to smush it into just like mashed peas.
Well, you could if you really wanted.
You could if you wanted
to make it quite smooth.
Yeah.
Then you obviously just blend a little longer or get Jeremy over. Hey, yeah. No starting.
I need a little bit of start. And you just want to bash away. If I had maybe a bigger spoon, this would work, but.
Done.
I think Christy won.
Machine wins this round.
If I had another few minutes, I would get through this, just so you know.
It's good exercise.
But I mean, you can do it by hand. These mortar and pestles really help. I'll stop here. So I embarrass myself even more.
We don't have hours for today's class.
So that's it. Perfect. I'm gonna add just a little pinch of salt. You want to season it. Remember, if you're adding anything like sun-dried tomatoes or olives or capers or anything, that brings some sodium into it as well. So always taste and season.
You can't take the salt out. We can always add it later.
So just do one more pulse just to get that salt in. I'm just gonna add a little bit. Oh, and the herbs, yeah. Thank you.
Basil time.
And so we'll put our basil in there as well, and just a couple pulses because we don't want to go too much.
Okay. Oh, there.
Perfect. Beautiful. And this is great to do. You do it fresh, and you can freeze this. You can add a little bit more liquid, a little bit more oil if you want to just keep it, nice and saturated in the oil, or just like this is really nice and fresh. And you can put this on your, crostini, make some nice toast. I'm gonna make it just a tomato salad. So I have we're getting some greenhouse Canadian tomatoes at least. They're not as good as the summer ones, but this is something to try with. You can do it with cucumbers. With tomatoes are really nice. This is just an heirloom variety, so it's a nice orange tomato. And you can cut into chunks, or if you want to get a little chefy.
Of course. It looks beautiful with the ridges in the heirloom tomato. Looks like little flower petals.
It's breaking apart on me, but add some, do some thin slices. Kind of put it out around the plate, arrange it. If you have some red tomatoes, I've even seen this done with fruit. So you can add thin slices of pear or apple, which would be perfect in a salad. And we'll just put those on. Oh, this is breaking apart, not the greatest tomato. And then some of that pesto, and this is just a really nice kind of sharing dish, and you can add this right on top. And then if you have anything like some greens, some kale, or some baby spinach, or some arugula, or like this is fennel, which I love to use. You can put just a little bit of thinly shaved fennel. Just pile it up on one side, and it's a really nice salad. And then you can add, I like adding a little bit of sharp cheese on the top.
We love to use sharp, strongly flavored cheeses in the ELLICSR kitchen because you just need that little bit and you get maximum flavor and you don't have to use a lot of it. Personally, with low-fat cheese, I find it just doesn't hit the spot the same way and you end up eating more of it.
Yeah.
So go for the good stuff in smaller amounts.
First one done.